how would you say that you got into craft beer? Was it sort of a gradual thing? Was there an instance that you knew this was the good stuff?
Hmm. Well, I don't know. I always sound like an alcoholic or a lush, but like I've always liked the drinks, right?
Right.
As a bartender in college, it's just like, really fun, great way to connect with people. But I don't think I really knew as much about beer at that point. It was more sort of like, cocktails and spirits and that kind of stuff.
Right.
I had a friend of mine who got into the beer scene pretty early, and so he would, be trading and like bringing stuff. Because there was no shipping beer back then; it was all you had to have connections.
Right.
And he would bring stuff from like Vale, Treehouse, Trillium, and then I think at one point I told him I was not an IPA person; I did not like
Mhm.
IPAs. And then he brought back something from The Alchemist, and it was Heady Topper.
Mhm.
And I remember I drank it, and I was like, okay, I've been converted, and it's just kind of been gradual and pretty consistent ever since.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
really a good one to start with. I mean, that's like the
can't go
holy
wrong.
grail for years now. So much so that they started distributing to New Jersey, and places are getting 4 packs of it and charging like $35-$40 for it because
Really?
they know that they're going to get some suckers who know that it's good, and it's sort of like the pioneer as far as IPAs and craft beer are concerned. But no 4 pack of beer is worth $40. And some of these places are getting called out, and it's just a crazy thing to see, like because they don't get much of it, and they know that someone's not going to question it, and they're like, "Oh, I heard this was what I'm supposed to be drinking," and then they don't know that it's twice what it should be.
I know. What about you? Did you have like a gateway beer into craft beer?
One of the gateways was probably Allagash White. Was one of the ones that really started to get me into that because there was once upon a time I hated beer just in general, even like into college. I know, it's crazy, right? But I was a poor college student, and when you're going to bars, it's either $9 mixed drink or $1 beer. So I kind of like
All the natty lights.
yeah, all that kind of stuff. So I knew I had to learn to like it, and I did, and it wasn't good beer at the time. But I had a few friends who were into like better beer, so I would have things like the wheat beers like Hogarden, Francis Connor, some of the like the German wheat beers that were much better than your
Yeah.
Coors and your Millers. So I was like, okay, this is really good. And then it wasn't really until Jen and I started dating that we started getting into it together. So we'd have things that were still sort of steps up. Like we'd go with Yingling, and then Shock Top came out, and then the big one was probably Sam Adams.
Hmm.
That like really got us into the craft beer world because there was so much of it around, and they
Yeah.
would have those like big sampler packs. So there'd be 5 or 6 different beers that you can try. So that's what sort of really got us into it, and then just kind of up from there. And weirdly enough, like even though I started to like beer, you take a scroll down my Instagram page and it's like 90% IPAs. But once upon a time, like I hated IPAs. I couldn't do it. And then this was before like IPAs were juice and haze and like fruity tasting and thick. They were piney, and I was like, this tastes like the bottom of a forest floor, and I don't know how people drink this. It was awful.
But now we like it, don't we?
But
Like the
now
forest floor, all the resin.
right, truly, madly, deeply, like Savage Garden level, love them now. So that was something that was a gradual process getting into this, and now it's IPA all day. Even though there's nothing I won't drink. There isn't a style that I really don't like when it comes to beer. So you put anything in front of me, chances are I'll drink it at least once.